G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildcard Rugby Show. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, you are here today because round 2 of Six Nations is upon us. And the big one this weekend, England versus France. Potentially, England still has a chance to win the Six Nations. Should they topple France tonight? I mean, on the weekend at Twickenham. So yeah, it's still all up in the air for any of these teams. So in between France, England, and Ireland to potentially still take the Six Nations this year. England obviously had that very crucial bonus point loss against Ireland, which put them, if they can get ahead on France and deny a bonus point, will put them in a really good position to head into the final few rounds. With France still have Ireland to go, and yeah, it's still completely within reach for either of these teams for the Six Nations Championship. With that being said, I thought neither team's performance were that impressive, to be really honest with you, despite the big win on the French team over a very lackluster, very lackluster Welsh team. I thought the French scrum should have dominated a bit more. I thought the French structure was a bit messy. Antoine Dupont was just like way too good of a player for the Welsh to defend, and I think there's quite a few things to improve. And with Ntamack injured, France could be potentially looking a bit of a headwind going into this match against England. For England as well, obviously a big loss with a late 2-try to claw back a bonus point. And it is, again, I thought the scrummaging was a bit of a mess. I thought, albeit, Ireland has a pretty good scrummaging. The set for the England was very structured. Once the Irish team changed up the style of their play, England just didn't know what to do. There was very little adjustment to their game plan when the Irish changed their sort of a style a little bit. The tackling was really poor. James Lowe was looking like untackable, last week. And then also that I thought the kicking game, the box kicking from the nine with Alex Mitchell completely wasted with his talent. That needs to be changed. It's almost like with a lot of this coaching stuff. Ooh, it's the bug flying around. With the little coaching stuff that has left the camp from the English side. Is that the reason why a lot of the game plan was very stale? Because Bothwick is left without some of those ideas that he had in the past. Yeah, we'll have to see. Things weren't looking that great for the England side. But I guess the one positive is 2 late tries show that the England team does have the talent, does have the creativity, should they be allowed by Bothwick to use those creativity, and they might be able to pull up a bit of an upset this weekend if they're able to do that against the French team. So yeah, with that being said, let's have a look at some of the recent results for these two sides. So England not so great, a big losing streak heading into this match with just 1 win over Japan, which is something that kind of like guaranteed at home. And yeah, big losses all the way back to against New Zealand. Very close losses. A lot of these ones almost a coin toss, you could say. And then the last week's game, again, within reach of a bonus point, but yeah, wasn't quite good enough at all for the England side to lose that one. The French team had a bit of a resurgence since, I guess, more of a dominance came back in the team once Antoine Dupont rejoined the squad in November. They had a bit of a shaky season last season at Six Nations, drawing with Italy at home. Almost lost that one with a goal missed at the dying minute for Italy. And then, yeah, really not the best of the performances coming out of the Six Nations last year. Lost 1 away with their B team in Argentina. And then once Dupont came on, they were pretty much steady as you would expect, finishing off very strongly in the November series, beating the All Blacks. And last week, a nice win over Wales. So yeah, the history between the two sides, pretty much France a bit more dominant recently, especially since the 2019 Rugby World Cup. And then Eddie Jones had a pretty bad run as England coach late in his career, and then only for Bothwick taking over, still not quite being able to close the gap, still not quite being able to sort out the Antoine Dupont factor. Biggest loss in history of the England team at home was conceded against France a couple of years ago, which Sir Woodward coined not that big a gap, but yeah, it was pretty huge gap there. So hopefully this weekend it's not gonna be that big a gap actually this time. The referee this weekend is gonna be Nika Shumakeli from Georgia. He's a really good referee, very clinical with his calls. Really knows his laws really, really well. And sometimes I do think that sometimes I do think that he may be a bit too harsh in some of those decisions. It's almost like he's afraid to get the law wrong, and he tend to maybe overdo a little bit with some of the laws. But outside of that, I think he's a really, really, really outstanding referee. The weather on the weekend gonna be a bit of raining on Friday, cloudy on Saturday, which is gonna be when the game is being played at Twickenham in London. So it could be a little bit of moisture, but should not be too bad overall for the teams to be performing. Now let's have a look at the players who was given the opportunity to represent their nations this weekend. Coming out of front rowers, we've got Ellis Genge, Luke Cowan-Dickie, and Will Stewart unchanged for the England side. The scrum was an absolute mess last week. Lots of collapsing in the loose air side, both sides actually, for the games, and there was a bit of 50-50 call against England. I thought England probably had a slightly hard done by the referee in terms of some of the 50-50 calls that was given away, but overall still, you kind of expect a bit cleaner than that. The French on the other side, I was not impressed. I thought the Welsh had a bit of dominance at times over the French scrum, which is something that I did not expect. We've got Jean-Baptiste Gros comes in number 1, Pedro Morvaca number 2, and Uni Antonio, the veteran, number 3. Obviously without Cyril Baye at the loose air proposition, is that the weakness showing through for the French scrum there? We'll have to wait and see if, this weekend, and if Ellis Genge can do some work there on the loose air side against Uni Antonio. In the locking position, we've got Mario Itoje coming in at the captain. He has made a call this week to bring more physicality for the England side as the top priority. I didn't think that was a problem for England. I didn't think England got out-muscled last week. I think that it was too rigid of the game plan, that they have to probably adopt a bit more to try to open up, especially this French team. George Martin gets number 5 jersey. On the French side, Alexandra Romat comes in number 4. Emmanuel Miefau comes in number 5. In the loose forwards, now some changes on the England side. Tom Curry retains that blindside flanker position, number 6. Ben Earl gets moved to number 7 from number 8. Tom Willis gets caught up to number 8. I think the both were probably realizing having pretty much 3 locks on the bench last week was just a bit too slow to finish off the game, and that's pretty much where the England team fell off a cliff. There was quite a number of gaps that was exploited around the rocks, and I think he probably decided to reduce the 3 open side flanker setup with Ben Curry dropped down to the bench and Tom Willis coming up to number 8. Francois Crox comes in number 6 for France, number 7 Paul Bodekant, and number 8 Gregory Aldridge, as always, the big man on the back of the scrum there. The backline now, this will be very, very interesting, with obviously Intermac being red carded and suspended for 3 weeks or a couple of weeks. He's been suspended for a red card. There was some talks of who's going to be number 10. Antoine Dupont has been talked about, and ultimately Fabien Galtier has decided to settle Matthew Jalibert to bring him back at number 10. And they have also put Thomas Ramos at number 10 at times, and Jalibert, there had been a bit of an issue between him and the coach, and the head coach of the French team. And then there was a bit of a fallout, and that's why he kind of fell out of favor. But Galtier called him back, and the two kind of settled their differences. I don't know why you will have I don't know why there will be any personal issues between the two, but it is just what it is. So that apparently has been settled, and they're back in the 10 jersey ahead of Ramos in this setup. And it's quite important, because having a proper 10, Ramos is a pretty good player, very versatile, very talented, but having a proper 10 and having Ramos just having that reliability at fullback position is really, really important. Antoine Dupont as well, last week was on fire, setting up tries, exploring options, some nice grubber kick over the top as well, playing the kicking game. It's just, he's actually the playmaker on the field, and we'll have to see how the English is going to shut him down this weekend. With some of the law changes as well, less abilities for the defensive team to contest against number 9 now, around the rocks, around the scrum, just giving him an even more opportunity for Antoine Dupont to shine as a player. Alex Mitchell last week was just playing in my review, I thought he just played like Ben Youngs under Eddie Jones. and I thought that was really, really poor game plan out of Steve Borthwick. You know, Alex Mitchell, one of the most exciting players in the Premiership around the night position, second playmaker for the Saints almost, and he's, you know, last year, pretty sure he's the one that like single-handedly won the try that won against for the Saints, and just purely came down to his quick decision on the rock, pick and go. And we didn't really see any of that last week from the England side. And I hope that hopefully it's going to do a bit more than just box kicking every time he's getting an opportunity. Finn Smith has been a surprise selection here ahead of Marcus Smith at 10. So Marcus Smith been dropped to 15. Freddie Stewart been dropped altogether, I believe, or down the bench actually. No, yeah, he's dropped altogether. So again, interesting selection here. I don't think Marcus Smith was given the opportunity last week to deliver to deliver what you were kind of expecting him to deliver, the flair, the creativity. He was pigeonholed into a very styled game plan. He did try a couple crossfield kicks that went a bit too far, and that was pretty much it early in the first half. So yeah, I thought again misused by Borthwick a little bit, but yeah, I'll have to see how this is going to turn out. In number 11, Ollie Slyhorn has come in for the new guy that, you know, what was his name? He was like a flash in the pan. He did have an injury, so Slyhorn, I thought it was really excellent last year for England. Good to see him finally back in the camp. Louis Bieri retains the number 11 jersey for the French team. Unchanged center setup for both teams. Henry Slay comes in number 12. Ollie Lawrence number 13. Really good rush defense from both players last week, especially in the first half. Ura Moefana comes in number 12, and Pierre-Louis Barassi, sorry, that's a different name, different guy, comes in number 13 for France. Tommy Freeman retains number 14 jersey for England. Damien Penaud returns for the French team. He had been a bit of an injury, and he's by far the most dangerous guy in the wing jersey, I think, in all of World Rugby right now. And he will be, yeah, this is a very dangerous setup for the French side. And finally, number 15, Marcus Smith out of 15, the fullback. And Thomas Ramos coming in number 15. I know they have Freddie Stewart at number 15, probably because of the kicking game they wanted to deploy. And this is probably a sign that they're shifting away from that kicking game. But then again, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Marcus Smith, I think the problem with him at fullback for me is that I think his defense is probably not that great. Just quietly, I don't think he's one-on-one tackle, especially if like Damien Penaud makes a break. I don't know if he's going to be able to, yeah, you can tell me I'm wrong, but I don't think his defense is that good compared to I don't think Fresh Stewart's that good either, but, you know, I think that's might be an issue that comes through for England there. In the bench now, we've got Jamie George returning from a bit of an injury at number 16, Finn Baxter number 17, and Joey Hayes comes in number 18. For France, Julien Macon number 16, Cyril Bay number 17 on the bench, and Georges Henry Colombe comes in at number 18 for the French reserve props. Both teams are opted for 6-2 setup as well. Ollie Chisholm comes in number 19 for England. Chandler Cunningham South, number 20. And Ben Curry moves down to the bench for the England side. Bit more speed, I guess, off the bench is probably the smart idea for England, number 21. For the French, we got Hugo Arudo comes in number 19. Mikhail Gillard comes in number 20. And Oscar Jegu comes in number 21. And then in the halfback reserves, we've got Harry Randall comes in number 22 for England. Nolan Legaric was excellent coming off the bench. Yes, last week for the French, I didn't think it was. Yeah, I thought his performance was probably on par to Antoine Dupont minus the playmaking in terms of just the number 9 duties. I thought it was excellent. Very nice passes, some flick passes, very quick decisions all around the park. I thought it was excellent. Harry Randall, on the other hand, was really bad. He did like a box kick that like went straight down to him. Lucky he didn't get a penalty. Yeah, he didn't get a penalty for putting his own players offside. I think that was a penalty. It should have been a penalty for the England players being offside there. And yeah, just overall, did not quite deliver what you would expect him to come off the bench in some of the clinicalness that he delivered. Number 23, Steve Borthwick's favorite player, Elliot Daly, gets caught in for England, and then Emilian Gallatin comes in number 23 for the French team. This will be a really tough game, I think, for England. There seems to be a bit of a changes in the way they wanted to play the game, with obviously Fred Stewart dropped, so maybe we're gonna see a bit less of a kicking game. But yeah, I thought maybe starting Daly at 15 and have Marcus Smith at 10 would be a better option. But I guess they're probably thinking about the injury covers in terms of having only 2 backs on the bench. Yeah, I think the French team will win this one. I think the French will win by not that big a gap. 35 points to 25 over England this weekend for the French. And let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, feel free to check out my website, wildcardrugby.com. You can see all the results here. No spoilers, all the stats. Going to details and players' profile as well. Feel free to check it out. And yeah, feel free to donate some money as well to keep this website running. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. I'll see you guys for the reviews. Cheers.